Hi everyone, I just wanted to clarify a few things for you. Hopefully it'll make it a little easier to share your opinions if things are a little more clear. So I know I proposed things at the mandatory meeting and some things were not as clear as they could have been. So I'm just going through this survey and I've seen some comments that people have made and I wanted to clarify things from there. So the 501c3 nonprofit, just to clarify with that, then being nonprofit would allow us to donate funds for like tax write-offs. We feel like being nonprofit would be a good idea. Also to help with getting a new building. If we're able to claim that we're a nonprofit, that would help. We also felt like it would be good to put our funds into a bank account and not have them just sitting in Venmo. It would be under the co-op's name, not under a person's name, and there would have to be like 2 or 3 or the whole board there to be able to get funds out of it. It would still be connected to Venmo. At least that's my understanding. Still be connected to Venmo, but it would be housed in an actual bank account, which could be good just for so we don't get hacked into. We've heard sometimes that's happened with Venmo. Money has been stolen or hacked into, and so we're just wanting to just protect those funds. I still have a few questions about the 501. I don't know all of the things, but as far as I know, it would not really hurt our co-op in any way. It would essentially just make more options for us. We wouldn't have to pay taxes. We'd be tax exempt. But it could help us have more funds for some things, for retreat, for mom's night out, for our youth being able to do some cool experiences, things like that, if we're able to be a nonprofit. So that's why we started heading down that road. I don't feel like there's any huge ramifications for becoming a nonprofit. It would be a little bit more work for the treasurer every year, as well as when it's turnover for a new board and changing everybody's names. But I sent in everything we would need in our articles of accreditation, I believe is what it was called. So a little bit more work that way, but it wouldn't be too time consuming. It can also be reversed if we feel like it's not really what we want, or there happen to be some things that we missed and we don't end up liking those, then yes, we can reverse it, we can get out of it. I think there was some confusion on the question regarding having 2 classes that we would choose in between 2 classes instead of having more. I think this past year we had 2 classes per hour each that kids could choose from. This other proposal is that we'd still have homeroom altogether. Then the next hour, it would be 2 classes at the same time, but the next hour it would be those same 2 classes. People would just rotate. So the idea was that we would have a STEM or play class, and then some kind of like fine art or language arts class, which goes right along with Well-Educated Heart. It would still be voted on. People would still submit their class idea. We'd probably have 2 class ideas, so you would submit one that is a STEM or play kind of a class, and one that's a more of an art, so fine art. And then we would still vote on those. So you still have a say, your kids still have a say in what they want. We would just narrow that down even further to the top fine art and the top STEM or play class. And then it would just be taught twice in a row by the teacher, and the kids after homeroom would just, split, and half of them would go to fine art, half of them would go to the STEM or play class, and then they would switch. And then there wouldn't be, when it's time to vote, to try to get what classes you want, when it's time for registration, it wouldn't be as crazy of I have to get that class and get in there first or whatever. There wouldn't be that. What else would help with? It would help with just people that we have available teaching wise. Everybody wouldn't have to teach every semester. That's the idea. Obviously, if you have other ideas, if you feel like something else could work better, we're totally open to it. But the idea behind this is just to try to simplify if we can. And if you don't mind teaching 2 in a row, then you do that. And then next semester you have a bit of a break, which could be nice sometimes. Okay, next question about propose that we change our day for co-op. I'm seeing quite a bit of different feedback on here. It's kind of a half and half going on. The whole idea behind changing from Fridays is just that when we used to only meet every other Friday, we had time to do more park days and field trips together and build that community, moms getting to see each other more often. And we kind of missed that with the youth needing to have classes more often, and we kind of stopped having more of those. So the idea was that if it wasn't on a Friday, people wouldn't feel burnout as much being the end of the week. If we had it earlier in the week, on Wednesday or Thursday, something like that. And that Friday could be open to you guys to go out of town, to do something with your families, to put out a park day or a fun field trip. And that if it's more of an optional day on Friday and you can choose for your family if you want to participate, that might alleviate some of the not burnout, I guess that's not what I'm really thinking, but just, sometimes as you go through the whole week, then you're tired by Friday, or you really want to go out of town and Friday's the only day, or your husband gets off earlier on Fridays and you want to spend more time as a family, or your kids are at Heritage and Friday's their only day off and you want to actually have time to do something all together instead of having them come to another class. Anyways, that's the idea behind changing the days for co-op, is that we could hopefully have another day for the classes and then maybe be able to utilize Fridays better as the just for fun getting together to go on a hike or go to a park, something like that. So hopefully that has helped clear a few things up. Let me just double check if there's any other questions I didn't get. Feel free to reach out to me, call me up. I am happy to talk to you and explain things better. I'm going to set up a Zoom call Wednesday before it's time to turn in your surveys, and you can ask any other questions. If you need a new survey because after explanation you're wanting to change, then call me or just text the board, reach out to us, and we can have you retake it. And we'll go through and make sure that there's not 2 votes for a specific person. We've had everybody put their name so that we can go through and make sure who's voted and that we're not counting anybody twice or things like that. So anyways, hope that's helped. Thanks.